hello future me. We are doing an investigation quest for the most optimistic man on the planet. So, yeah, let's do this.
We may curse heaven for our fate, but hell is a device of our own construction. The Ebony Tower, #1 on the New York Times bestsellers list, 5 weeks running. We are the architects of our own destiny. There's no innocence, only ignorance. Nobody could ever accuse me of empathy, of genuinely caring for people. In fact, they'd probably say that Sam Krieg is a cold son of a bitch. And they'd be right. People don't interest me. The acts of people, now those are intrinsically interesting. Particularly the consequences of those actions. Cause and effect, crime and punishment. It's every book I ever wrote and sold 1 million copies of. So what did the good folk of Kingsmith do to deserve their fate? I tell you, they were evil. Kingsmith, Solomon County, pure evil, all of it. Like a modern-day Sodom and Gomorrah. Always was, from the moment the pilgrims stepped off the boat and set forth on these shores. There's a dark rot festering behind the flower print veil of the Labor Day barbecues, homecoming parades, and maple syrup. I should know. The deeper I dug, the darker the hole, the more I found. A goddamn abyss of foreshadowing. I've seen evidence of acts so cruel and demented, so twisted and sick, right out there, that people might confuse them for one of my books. And if you've read any of them, and I'm sure you have, you'd know that this place has blood on its hands, and plenty of crime to its name. I'm sure you know this one. Show a gun on the mantelpiece in the first act. Before the curtain goes down, it's going to blow someone's scrotum off. Upon the wicked shall fall a rain of fire and brimstone.
Yeah, and we decided that was probably a quest. Are you shitting me, Lucinda? Good for public relations? I think you get off on connecting me with these lunatic fans. I think you're hoping I'll kill someone. Wouldn't it be wonderful to bump sales and get rid of me in a most spectacular fashion? This fanatic you found is even more obsessed than the redhead in Tulsa. Sure, I got information out of him, but it took everything I had not to blow his balls off. And I bet I could have gotten away with it too. Your Honor, look at the website this man has about me. Look at this picture I had to throw in the garbage. Notice the pathetic eyes begging me to end his miserable life? I'd also like to submit into evidence this goddamn fucking town. I had to abandon my car at an intersection because the gravel road, the stupidest sentimental name I've ever heard, became too narrow. Oh, and thank you for the GPS, Lucinda. It tried its utmost to steer me into a fiery fucking death. Okie dokes. The little charmer. So, we know that Sammy boy was in a car and he left it, and there was a GPS, so we know where this fan came from. Eventually, this is the stock Sam Krieg's most devoted fan simulator. It's great. You shouldn't get too used to not having fall damage, because when you shift to other games, then you throw yourself off a cliff, and that's getting really embarrassing for everyone in your group. Yeah, that happens. We're looking for a car, and obviously we've run past it like a bajillion times at this point. But we are looking for a car from a parked on a gravel lane that is adorned with a sentimental name. And incidentally, Lover's Regret is right here, and I think this is where the car is at. So we're gonna nip on down there. Ba-doom-doom. Zombies. Here we are. Sammy-licious. Take the GPS.
Quick access inventory updated.
Oh, good grief. Okay.
Your journey has been calculated. Please exit onto a mapped road. Continue eastbound for 200 yards and take the second exit. Prepare to turn right. Turn right and follow the road for 500 yards. Continue to follow the road. Prepare to turn left. Turn left now.
Okay.
Navigation is paused.
This tells us in reverse where he came from. So if you flip those instructions around, you get turn left now, prepare to turn left, continue to follow the road, turn right and follow the road for 500 yards, prepare to turn right, continue eastbound for 200 yards, and take the second exit. Your journey has been calculated, please exit onto a mapped road. When we do that, we will follow a road. Here, I will just show you. Noop, 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 noop. Whip, 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 whip. Swoop. Noop. Nip. And it goes here. This is the gas station. So, in the interest of being a very informative tutorial, which I don't need because it's only for sentimental reasons, then I guess I will just shoot a zombie, take a quick exit. Hooba hooba hooba, black house it is, kaboom, floof floof floof. Local bounty detected.
Detected. Initiating.
Get wrecked. Winter caches. Hoop. Okay, let's go to the gas station and hang out, because what the fuck else are you gonna do in the ass end of Kingsmouth? It's not even Kingsmouth. Yes, here we are. Oh, there's a lure. Hang on. Orochi. Hey. Okay, then in the letter he did notice that he was that he chucked something in the garbage. Yeah. Look at this picture I had to throw in the garbage. So, he had to throw it in the garbage right here. I'll never forget this, Sam. Check out my site, Sam Creek Sightings, WordPress.com. We gotta keep hitting them with the ugly truth. Someone's signature. So, what you're supposed to do is go to Sam Creek Sightings at WordPress.com. And I have done that. And you cannot do it through the web browser as per usual. But when you do that, then you will end up with a whole lot of information you didn't know you wanted. But first, let us just have a quick look at the picture. because this house in the background with only one window on the front and a porch with a stair up and there's a flag hanging is a little bit down the road here. Doop-a-doop-a-doo-doo. Zombies in another castle. Here we are. There we are. Find a way inside the house. Personal satisfaction, don't judge. Okay. What it says on the homepage is you know, you're obsessed when you eat a Sam Creek breakfast every day. I think that's probably just a whiskey, maybe a raw egg or something. You've gone through his trash. That's so fucking creepy. You can name every book he's ever written and a few that he never finished. Your 4-digit security codes all come from his books. You've got a blog in his honor. So what you do is to go through all the heaps and heaps of ISBN numbers that are presented on the page. They are all tagged by ISBNs, so you just kind of gotta work through it, and it's a long road, but it's fun in a way. In the end, the last digits of a book he wrote, quote unquote, called The Resident Horror, it ends on the last 4 digits of that number. Let's just punch this in. It ends on 8237. There. Yeah, so we want to go to the man cave. The stalker man cave. Okay. Hex it is. We know that from his WordPress thing. He said that your, like plural, your codes are, your 4-digit codes are from the books. So let's just do this. Foucault's Pendulum, hardcover original. That's a book by Umberto Eco. And when you go to look that up for the hardcover original, it's the exact same thing with the ISBN number, although in this case it is the entirety of it, and not because it's not a Sam Creek book, and it happens to be this number, 97801513276652. Yeah, rolls off your tongue. So yeah, that was it. Now we have free roam of this man's data, which is gonna be very helpful. So technically, the mission is over, but let's just go through his shit just for funsies. Solomon Island as magnet for grimy souls. Is there any other kind? King Arthur's fibroma, things that go bunk in the mouth, occult ambitions, and the soil's turmoil fend on each other like alien corals. Like acne and depression, perfect fit for Illuminati doctrine. Max influence, minimum exposure, abandoned in the flight to New York, gone corporate, infiltrated by communists. Island's power hasn't waned, only feeds and festers. Yes, the Academy. That's a location we'll get to in a little while. It's on the same map here, but founded in 1798, a private boarding school front for something, smuggling the devil's gifts, funded by Russian prince, run by the Illuminati, rituals on every syllabus, rebuilt in 1850 after the Great Fire, rebuilt in 1904 after the earthquake, rebuilt in 1967 after the explosion, Soviets wanted it back. The most feared track and field team in the state. Okay. That's useful. We will remember that for later. Henderson had talent for excruciating arts, always restless, somber, volatile, broke from occult circles to build a farm. Why? Oldest son crushed in 1904? Bolsheviks? Wife's suicide? Enter sorrow? Dug deeper into necromancy, thanatology, Egyptian rites? Both daughters died? Enter madness and melancholy? Exit with razor. That's evocative. Okay, so we have Blue Ridge Mine, which is in the next map we're going to go to. Built during the mining boom of the 1870s, machines greased with blood, conflict with the Wabanaki, they had socialist sympathies, mine was shut down, reopened in the 1970s, foreman shot the shaman, protesters jailed, land sold to third party, unable to trace, could be Soviet, recently started quarrying at the site, soil is like skin, no limit to how deep our nails can dig. Okay, Atlantic Island Park. We will be going there shortly. Maine magnate Nathaniel Winter, born Kaminsky, bought the Henderson farm in the late 1970s, wanted to build amusement park, front for Soviet missile base. Henderson's dark legacy in the air, Henderson's blood soaking in the soil. Winter fast-tracked his permits, money and connections, and pushed through all red tape and resistance, hell-bent on children's amusement. That sounds beautifully ominous. Okay, the Overlook Motel, we already had fun there. Motel built in 1960, Shirley's Temple, cold day in November 1986, a little American town doctrine. 5 guests disappeared, 5 points on the pentagram, iron curtains, journalists been poking around, Cold War communication space, walls were known to be thin. Okay. The Black House, we already been there. Built in 1974 by Carrie Killian, single woman from Miami, may have spent time in Minsk. Locals didn't take kindly to her arts, riled up rumors, torch-bearing mob, bar the doors and windows, the night we burned her down. Now it's a party house for the punks at Innsmouth, frat initiation rites, beat the fright, stay the night, no one ever does. And last, and probably most depressing, Sam Creek. Born September 11, 1951, history teacher, married 3 times. Anne Marie Ellsworth left him in 1983. Glasnost was a front. TV star Bobby Mann, born Popescu, left him in 1986. Third wife, Elizabeth Galvin, died of breast cancer in 2002. Writes letters to his dead wife. Loves Kashmir, hates the Habs, misanthrope, knows all about the darkness in our hearts, the cadence of shit, conspiracy buff, dominant theme in his novels, people pulled into the abyss, drinking problems, writer's block, OCD. Okie dokes, that was great entertainment. I feel enriched. My habitat was enriched. So let's see what the Geary has to say. John Anderson. So we know who this guy was, we know where he lived, we know what he looks like. Most importantly, we know that he knows too much. I really hate finding these basement Illuminati references, especially when they're not that far off. Except for all the Cold War paranoia. The Reds went down with even Drago. We have reason to believe Anderson left the island shortly after meeting Creek. We'll need to find him and figure out just how much he knows. We'll leave the blog up for now, maybe he'll try to log in from wherever he is. Fun fact, also a KD breakfast. Aha, okay, so it might actually just be coffee. We know from one of the these missions, the agent network, that she has the Guri has very particular morning coffee requirements, and if you mess with that, her entire day and possibly the Illuminati and possibly the world grinds to a terrible halt. So it might just be coffee. Okay, great. We got a pair of socks. Thanks. Thanks, Gary. That's awesome. Thanks for the handbag and a pair of socks. Yeah. It's so rewarding being Illuminati. I feel... yeah. I feel enriched. Okie dokes. So that was that for this one. It's better to do them as they crop up, obviously, than to lump them all together and get stressed about it. So yeah, I will, my beautiful voice will meet you again, future me, when the next investigation shows up. It's probably going to be the Atlantic Park, but there we are. Bye bye!